To be a hacker, to view the world as the way I view it, is to question every model that society has imparted on you. Outside the rules of physics and the rules of law, all other rules are illusions that we have chosen to believe. Your job as a free-thinking human being is to smash the ones that no longer serve you. We wash our bodies, but we don't wash our minds. First thing to know is that most of your models, most of your beliefs were not taken on by rational choice. They were implanted in you. Do you know that almost every year, philosophers, scientists, experts in different fields come up with new ways of exercise, new ways of parenting, new ways of mindfulness, new optimized ways to hack human happiness. But these things don't make it to the education system. So, because the schooling system doesn't upgrade itself with our systems of living, and because systems of living tend to get passed on from parent to child, many of us live with outdated software. The evidence shows that we inherit and transmit behaviors, emotions, beliefs, and religions not through rational choice, but through contagion. When we are unsure of how to react to a stimulus or situation, these theories suggest that we actively look to others for guidance and consciously imitate them. In other words, as human beings, we have a follow mechanism. We often follow blindly because it helps us make sense of the world. So when unsure how to react, we follow the people around us. This is how kids are trained. And so kids blindly follow their parents, who are blindly following their parents, who are blindly following the people who came before. And entire generations go by where people have not upgraded their models of reality. Our internal models create our external reality. Science is telling us that what you believe to be true about the world becomes true for you. And this is why we cling so stubbornly to our beliefs. For example, there was a study that showed that a good hypnotist could hypnotize you to make you believe that you were on a beach under like a really warm sun, and your skin would actually tan because of that belief system implanted in you. What we are learning is that reality does not exist. You make it all up, all the time. So there are no excuses for the stuff that's holding you back. You are creating your own reality all the time. You're making all of this up. If you want to teach people a new way of thinking, don't bother trying to teach them. Instead, give them a tool, the use of which will lead to new ways of thinking. What I'm going to give you is that tool. Consciousness engineering allows you to think of yourself like, say, a computer. Computers have software and they have hardware. If your computer becomes obsolete, you simply swap out the hardware. You could swap out an old monitor, stick in a higher resolution monitor, swap out a smaller hard drive, stick in a higher powered hard drive. You could also constantly upgrade your software, hardware and software. Is there a hardware and a software to you, to the human being? Well, there is. Now, the hardware is what we call your models of reality. Your models of reality are really your belief systems. Your belief systems become you. It is no exaggeration to say that every human being is being hypnotized to some extent, either by ideas he has uncritically accepted from others, or ideas he has repeated to himself or convinced himself to be true. Maxwell goes on to say that all of us, how we see the world, is no different from a patient who's just been hypnotized. We see the world through a lens based on our beliefs. But the funny thing is, these beliefs become true for us. So, for example, if you're a child and you are told as you're growing up that to be successful, you have to work hard, you might grow up your entire life believing that you have to work 8 to 10 hour days just to make ends meet. But of course, we know that this isn't true. Most beliefs that we take on are not taken on by rational choice. We take them on uncritically as children below the age of 7. In fact, most beliefs come in often from the ages of 0 to 2. So if you think about your models for the physical world, right? Things such as calories, things such as marriage, university education, the fact that you need to save up money till you can retire and then come visit exotic places like Mexico, or even religion. How many of these things are really true? In the words of Steve Jobs, all of these things were made up by people no smarter than you. And when you learn that you can question these things, that's when you can really do some epic things in the world. So, your models of reality define the space that you're playing with. Problem is, your models of reality are often bullshit. They don't belong there in the first place. How many of you here remember the day you chose your religion? Most of us did not get that luxury. Most of us had things such as religion implanted on us. But it's not just religion. It's everything. It's our beliefs on love. It's our beliefs on intuition. It's our beliefs on the way life works. The idea that there's a flow state, that if you can learn to put yourself into the peak state of human existence, you can be ultra productive. Human intuition, the idea that we can source ideas from out of space without any physical means of communication, and that inspiration and creativity can be turned on like a tap. Mind-body healing, that by conscious practice of certain mindfulness or visualization practices, you could heal certain aspects of yourself. Self-directed learning, that perhaps university isn't really necessary, and there are better ways to become an educated human being. All of these are new models that you can attempt to absorb into your world. Some of these might create massive new leaps in the way you function as a human being. So it's constantly important to question and update your models, just like you regularly swap in and out the hardware in your computer. But a second piece, right? Systems for living. Systems for living, think of it as your software. This is what we do to just function as a human being. When you wake up in the morning and you put on that outfit that you wear to work, that's a system for living. When you commute, that's a system for living. The way you check your email, the way you eat, the restaurants that you eat at, the way you make love, the way you raise your kid are all systems for living. Problem is, a lot of these systems for living do not get updated. Can you imagine if you were still using Internet Explorer version 2 rather than the newest version of Chrome? Most of us never update our systems for living. Models have a tendency sometimes to become rules. What is a rule? Rules are bullshit rules that we adopt to simplify our understanding of the world. So is what you believe really a rule, or is it a rule? The distinction really matters. So you want to ask yourself, am I believing something that's really serving my happiness? Or is it making me miserable? If so, feel free to discard it. They are unnecessary. You are following them because of memetics and social conditioning. Lose them, because there's a good chance it's probably holding you back. And if you don't lose them, you risk passing them on to your kids and then screwing up the next generation. Bad beliefs need to die. And there's no reason to continue imparting them from generation to generation to generation in the name of religion, or culture, or national identity. See, outside the rules of physics and the rules of law, all other rules are illusions that we have chosen to believe. Your job as a free-thinking human being is to smash the ones that no longer serve you. We, millions of people, still wake up every morning feeling feelings of stress or anxiousness or worry, and they do nothing about it, not realizing that these emotional states are also stuff that we should be cleaning. Yet, simple systems exist to help you do this. No one should be getting up feeling unhappy or stressful, anxious, because science has shown so many different ways to simply fix these. These are systems. These are the systems that you want to bring into your life.